Poke the Box is Seth Godin's spirited call to action for anybody too afraid to try something new. If you're happy being just a dreamer, perhaps you don't need this book. If you're enjoying the status quo, don't even consider reading this book. If you're content waiting for success to find you, just close the video right now and go find something motivational to watch. Because The Poke the Box is a cult classic. It's a book that dares readers to do something they are afraid of. It could be what you need too. So let's start with a condensed version of Poke the Box. If you have not already, then subscribe to Reading Leaf to elevate your reading. Here we don't provide summaries, but the entire book in its condensed form, so you don't miss out on anything. Let's start. Allow me to ask these questions to you. What will you do or create if you know you will not fail? Just imagine it's your turn. No middleman, no publisher, no bosses, and no HR. No one is telling you what you could not do. Then, what would you like to do? What would you like to build? Which problem would you like to solve? Or what is the one thing that you feel need to change? My real question is, what is stopping you from working on that? In the book Poke the Box, world's great marketing guru Seth Godin explained the basic fundamental quality which separates winners from the crowd is they are initiators. They take initiative and turn their passion into practice. Initiators go beyond the point of no returns. They take leap and commit to make things happen. When others spend endless time in thinking, meeting, or just discussing their next project, they actually get the work done. Seth Godin is best-selling author, entrepreneur, and an international trainer. He has written over 25 books in the domain of marketing. In this book, Poke the Box, he emphasizes on 3 key ideas. Number 1, the importance of initiative. Second, why people are afraid to start and why we have very less number of initiators. Third, how to overcome this fear and actually get the work done. First, let's understand the 7 imperatives you will need to build your own successful business. First one is awareness, being aware of the market, of opportunities, of who you are. This includes knowing your strengths and weaknesses too. Second is education. If you desire to build a successful business, be educated so you can understand what's going around you. Third is connection. Be connected so that people can trust you as you engage. Fourth is consistent. Be consistent in what you do so the system knows what to expect from you. This way you build your trust and brand with your market. Fifth one is build an asset. Yes, you must have something to sell. Then sixth is be productive. Keep producing so you can be well priced in the market. You could find this information almost anywhere because hundreds of business schools and thousands of books are teaching these 6 imperatives. But the most critical and the 7th imperative is having guts to start and the passion to deliver. I love sharing this quote as often as possible. I don't know who said this first, but this is absolutely a gold nugget. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to walk through your fear in pursuits of goal important to you. Author gave the example of buzzer box. In his childhood, his uncle built a box. This box had few switches, some lights, and few other controls. You press something, light goes on. You press something else, maybe some weird sound like a buzzer sound. When a kid sees the buzzer box, he got excited and he pokes it again and again. He experiments with different combinations. If I do this, that happens. He tries new combination and keep poking for new experiences. Life is also a buzzer box. Keep poking and you will always be amazed and excited to see what is next. I sometimes feel bad for few people seeing how bored, unexcitingly and miserable they live despite of having everything in place. How could you ever get bored when there is lot to do, there is lot to learn and there is lot to serve and contribute to humanity? Seth Godin explains no computer programmer can learn to program by following a pre-built step-by-step process. But all great programmers follow a common method. You can call this their blueprint to program. They poke the box. They code something and see what the computer does. They change it and see how computer responds. They repeat the process and keep poking until they figure out how the box works and how to influence it according to their need. The box might be a computer or might be a market. It's a puzzle that can be solved in only one way. By poking it again and again. Your idea need not to be next Google or Apple, but it could be as simple as teaching others a better way to answer a customer call, or just fixing a noisy hinge in your home, or making a website that sorted out genuine tool from fake ones. In my example, it was teaching busy people how to elevate their reading with no extra time. So the question arises, when should you start? As soon as possible. But the best time is now. Next doubt people have in their mind is, but what about the investment? Time has changed and money is not the only capital available to us. There are 6 different capitals to invest. 1. Financial capital, your money. 2. Network capital, your connections, people you know or the people who knows you. 3. Intellectual capital, your ideas. 4. Physical capital, tools and machinery. 5. Prestige capital. This one is important because it's a reputation among others. Last in this list, 6, but my personal favorite, it's instigation capital. It's a desire to move forward. It's the ability and guts to say yes. Many big companies are losing the instigation capital. Once they grow, they lose the motivation to innovate. This is when they stop growing and they become stagnant. Let's come to the next big idea of this book. Why there are very few people who take initiatives, while others are afraid of taking actions. Author explains, one fundamental reason is people confuse risk with flux. See, taking initiative is movement from one state to another. It is flux, while risk comes with the possibility of failure. In our subconscious mind, risk is being attached with failure, and we attached failure with pain. And modern science is proving us that we are biologically designed to avoid everything which is uncomfortable, and getting fail is uncomfortable for all. We all wanted to avoid the pain, even on the price of not taking action. So, what to do about this? And the answer is, people who realize that failure is the part of process, they grow faster because they have understood no failure is permanent. For people who keep growing and scaling the ladder of their career, failure is never a full stop. It's just another comma. You failed in first trial, so what? You have just fallen down. You again get up and start walking. You failed means you are on the road to success. Failure will come in series. So what? You fail, succeed, fail, succeed, and so on. You keep going. See, success is not about reaching some destination. It is about keep going. It's about keep growing and keep producing your best for the well-being of everyone. It's the idea of living on the edge. It's the idea of breaking your limitations every single day. You got the idea, right? It's about constant moving. Get up, fold up your sleeves and do it again. But make sure you're doing it better this time. This is the golden nugget from author. Failing is the process of doing. Let's try to understand this on more deeper level. Why we are afraid to try something new. And the answer is, we are all programmed to follow the crowd. Believe me or not, this is not just your past or childhood programming. This idea of follow the crowd is consistently enforcing on our mind. Our school, society, organizations, religions and governments, they are investing lots of energy and putting their best effort for not letting us become an initiator. Yes. The bitter truth is, society does not like initiators. Do little observation of your current environment and the society in which you live. Everywhere we have not allowed list. In office, smoking not allowed. In park, plastic not allowed. In theater, phone is not allowed. But no sign to tell what 1,000 other things are allowed. You see, kids, they love to dream and imagine, which is natural part of being human. But grown-up always emphasize on being realistic. Only those who are rebel enough to dream bends the reality. They create and make a new existential reality. Our society wants us to stay low. Don't ask questions because others may laugh on your stupid questions. In the crowd, initiator is always being labeled as an outsider, and which is scary to some part of our brain because our brain assumes being an outsider means danger. This was true for Guevara. You wanted to survive, stay with your tribe. But this notion has to change now, at least in your mind. I deeply believe better awareness gives us opportunity for better result. Take some time and think how you can use this information to improve the quality of your personal and professional life. Let's uncover more on science of getting failed in today's world. Author explained, most of the creative people believe they have to be chosen by others. For example, entrepreneurs often wait to be chosen by investors. Author waits to be chosen by publishers. Employees waits for promotion. They believe it's others' responsibility to find them and collaborate on the next big project. Well, there is a solace in waiting. It's move the blame from you to them. It's the dying mentality of a person who decided to wait in his home until God himself will come to offer help. Well, you like the idea or not, your life is 100% your responsibility. You don't like your current results? Change them by changing your current actions. Then there are others who just keep over polishing their craft. Keep polishing the same thing won't help you much. Twice as much polishing isn't twice as good. 10 times polishing is definitely not 10 times as good. It's easy to keep polishing and saying, I'm working on my craft, I'm busy. But that is pseudo busyness, not serious business. There is one more reason which people often ignore. Few amazing minds fail because they are just arrogant. They don't know the tact of sharing with others. Ignaz Semmelweis was a physician in Hungary. His insight was the poor hygiene by doctors caused significant disease and death. But he never worked to explain the science. He never bothered to persuade or even to be patient. Obviously, no one took him seriously. Instead of pushing to do what worked, he walked away and never made the impact he could have contributed. Seth Godin says, you must learn the economics of not doing. Here is another gold nugget. The cost of being wrong is always less than the cost of doing nothing. There's a lot of content outside on how to do it, but you have to find your why to do it. Let me be honest with you. Personally, I found no fail-proof system. Getting information and being prepared is crucial, but despite of all your preparation, you may fail. The condition will never be 100% you want them to be. Just accept that failure is just the challenge you need to overcome. Failure isn't a failure until you accept it as a full stop. The condition will never be 100% you want them to be. Just accept the fact that failure is just the challenge you need to overcome. Failure isn't a failure until you accept it as a full stop. Just imagine how worst crime it would be if Steve Jobs never took initiative for Apple. It is a moral obligation to serve and contribute in best possible way to this world. Another great idea from author. Starting demands finishing. Starting something means you are going to finish. If it does not deliver, you have really failed. You haven't poked the box if the box doesn't realize it has been poked. You might meet such people who roam around with hundreds of ideas in their bag. They are always busy and rushing towards something. They will reach nowhere because they are walking round in the same circle. So don't be that overstarter who think of 100 projects but deliver none of them. The basic difference between a creative and a creator or initiator is the creative person is satisfied once he sees how it's done. The initiator won't rest until he does it. I want to add something here from my personal experience. I've spent a really long time in being a busy creative person, thinking and planning of future projects, but not taking enough actions. Or I was always caught up in some activity which eventually plays the role of my excuse for my inability of taking action. I realized the prime reasons of this procrastination is lack of clarity and conviction. To overcome this challenge, I encourage you to create a dedicated space and time to work on those life projects. This single differentiator changed the course of my life. And make sure you are indestructible in your space. Gautam Buddha once shared, there are only 2 mistakes one can make along the road to truth. Not going all the way and not starting. And believe me, being an initiator is like any other skill which you can learn, develop and strengthen throughout the way of your success. And there is no alternative to that. You must have to learn this simple art which has the potential to create stunning results for you. Building a conscious habit of starting and delivering might not be easy, but pretty simple. Go and keep going. Just don't give up. Just don't stop. That's it. This world deserves more heroes who can get into the habit of shipping things, of making a difference, and of poking the box. My friend, I'm genuinely interested in knowing what is your calling and what is your plan to poke the box. Share your dream project in the comment box and you may connect with someone who can help you in poking your box. Other useful information related to this video is available in the description below, so don't forget to check it out. If you feel this content is worth learning, please share with at least 3 people who unknowingly need an external push to poke their box. Subscribe to Reading Leaf for more such mindful content. And if you're confused on how to find your calling, I'm going to make another video on finding your Ikigai. So hang on and subscribe. I will bring more such awesome content to you.